And we have Pat Ransom.
All right, hey everybody, I'm Patrick Ransom, and you might remember me from my last presentation of keeping food on your plate and not getting cheated out of a meal. Well, this week I'm going to be doing almost the opposite of that. I'm going to be talking about how to manage the nutrients that go into making that meal. So, sort of the flip side of the coin. And we're going to do that using a nutrient management plan. Can anybody tell me what they think a nutrient management plan entails, like what exactly it's good for? Like, just off the top of your head.
Livestock, like nutrient management for livestock to make sure they get the right amount of nutrients so they can be as big as they can.
Think of the other half of agriculture.
Okay. Like for plants.
Exactly. There you go. And we're going to focus more today on nitrogen and phosphorus than any of the other nutrients because they're the two most important nutrients and most applied when growing row crops. So, sort of an overview. You guys are going to get to learn what a nutrient management plan actually is. Kind of already got an idea going on with that. Going to understand what exactly it's for. Learn and the importance of noting different forms of nitrogen as well, because that's something that gets taken into account in the nutrient management plan. So, what exactly is a nutrient management plan? It's, to kind of cut this down, it's sort of the guidelines used to manage all the nutrients that you apply or may already be present in the soil so that you can get the most efficient yield out of whatever you're growing. So in Virginia, nutrient management plans are not mandatory for crop growing farmers, for ones without livestock. But they're recommended, and a lot of farmers do it because at the end of the day, what drives it all? Cost. Fertilizers cost money, and that all adds up. So if you look at the right-hand column, you're going to see that the yield goal increases as you go down, and in addition, so does the amount of phosphorus that you would have to apply. So what that means basically is that, yes, you get more yield for whatever amount of nutrients you put in, but at what cost? More money. So the real challenge is getting basically the best bang for your buck for whatever you can afford. And there's two sides to this entire argument, and it's yes, it is good to have more, but there is, in many cases, including this one, such thing as too much of a good thing. And this graph right here can kind of show you that too much of a good thing, you stop benefiting at a certain point. At about, you could say about 200 pounds per acre, that's a pretty high number. That the yield in bushels per acre, or if you're feeling European, kilograms per hectare, but regardless, it starts to level out. You start to get less, you have diminishing marginal utility for all the people who have taken economics. So to increase efficiency, there are different types of fertilizers that have different absorption rates. For nitrogen, it's ammonium and nitrate. Nitrate has a higher absorption rate than ammonium, and depending on when you want to apply and how often you want to be out there putting fertilizer down, you might choose a different type of fertilizer. So the other portion of the nutrient management plan is or purpose in fact, is to help reduce the non-point source pollution. Right now, the bay and all the water and the watersheds closely related with that are the main concern of Virginia, along with Maryland and the Delaware. But since they're hard to pinpoint, it's sort of still a little bit gray in how much it's helping, but it's definitely something that has shown some sort of benefit in the last few years. And the negative effect of applying all this excess fertilizer is going to be something called eutrophication, which is basically caused by runoff and erosion, which is like when you have too much nutrients in the soil or on the soil and they just can't be absorbed, can't be taken up by the plants, so it just kind of gets wasted. It goes in the surface waters, pollutes, and basically it's running down the drain, for lack of a better term. So another portion of the nutrient management plan that you kind of have to think about is the nitrogen mobilization versus immobilization. And if you've taken a basic soils class, at least in what I remember is immobilization is basically what it sounds like. It's basically making the nutrient immobile. It's putting it in under lock and key, so to speak, in the soil. But mobilization is making it more available. So if you understand how these two processes work, oxidation, reduction reactions, and all your good old basic organic chemistry, you can better judge how much you should apply in terms of nitrogen or phosphorus, and that all can also be affected by soil type. So to kind of wrap it all up, you're saying nutrients, why do we bother applying fertilizers? Well, that's because when you have a deficiency in something like, say, nitrogen, your plants, they won't be able to make amino acids, the top right there, or they won't be able to make chlorophyll, which is the top left. And phosphorus in the bottom left is used for root development, root growth, and the potassium is more for just regulating different, membrane reactions and things like that. Basically water regulation in the plant so it doesn't dry up on a hot day or something. So kind of wrap all this up. Nutrient management plans make farmers aware of their actions and decisions over time. That's a good thing. They're not out there to destroy the environment, despite what some people may believe. And it's basically going to help, nutrient management plans kind of help them become more efficient. Overall, it's just better for the economy and everything. And a nutrient management plan also helps farmers align themselves with the goals of the USDA and the DNR, which is part of Virginia that helps regulate all nutrients and pollution in the state of Virginia. And so I'm going to I have one last thing here, and it's sort of something to leave you guys with. It's a sample of nutrient management plan, actually. So there's no fill in the blank or anything like that. It's just to get you sort of an idea of what one would actually look like and all the things it takes into account. And you can see it's not exactly just, not exactly much different from a tax form. And there's a lot to it, is what I'm saying. So what you guys are seeing, do you have any kind of questions or anything, or anything that seems interesting that maybe I could help sort of explain why it's necessary, I guess?
Yes, why would you switch between soybean and corn like every other year?
It's, well, soybeans are legumes, so they fix nitrogen in the soil. That helps you sort of reduce the amount of nitrogen fertilizer you have to put down. It's basically for lack of a better word, just really green fertilizer. Well, thanks, guys.